Hey guys, Miles here, and if you're watching this, then more than likely you're looking for a way to make gold in Guild Wars 2. Now, there are a lot of ways, but I'm going to touch on just a few, and this is going to be a level-wide thing, so I'm going to go over ways that you can do it as a lower level, and if you're 80. These gold-making techniques have a varying degree of complexity, and the most complex one is the one that you can use at just about any level, so I'll be saving that one for last. One of the more simpler ways to obtain gold is to buy gems. You buy these with real-world currency, and you can exchange them in for gold. The exchange rate varies through the week, and sometimes you can exchange it at a good time, and sometimes if you choose to exchange it, you'll get it at a bad time. I personally have never done this, but I know it's a solid way to get gold without really much effort in-game. So if you're one of those people who don't believe that you should have to work in what you do to unwind from working, if you follow me, this is probably your best bet. One solid way of obtaining gold is by defeating the world bosses. I'll leave a link in the description below to a website that you pick what server you're on, and it'll tell you the timers on the world bosses that spawn, and say if the pre-event's about to pop up, or things like that. And these world bosses range from level 15 all the way to 80. And the first time you kill it during the day, you get the loot, obviously, and you get a guaranteed rare. Now, some of them have different loot tables that make them more worth it than others. For example, Shadow Behemoth drops a staff that sells for, on average, about 15 to 20 gold, depending on the day. But they're fun, for the most part they're easy, and it's a good way of getting loot. A really simple way of making gold is just by playing the game. If you do your dailies every day, then you get a currency called a laurel. And you can use these laurels at laurel vendors to buy unidentified dies. And for 5 laurels, you get 10 of them. You can either take the risk by opening them and hoping that you get a rare to sell into the trading post, or you can just sell the unidentified dies in the trading post as is. They usually sell for around 20 to 30 silver a pop. So, at 5 days of playing, doing things that you're normally gonna do anyway, you're looking at around 2 to 3 gold. If you're not wanting to use your laurels for anything else, this is a great way to get gold passively without really having to do anything you're not already doing. Farming champions at level 80 is a very popular method, and on my server, Sea of Sorrows, there was constantly a Zerg there farming them in the zone called Frostgorge Sound. Now, I've heard that our pathing is wrong and that we could even potentially be missing a champion, but as far as I know, every server has at least one place like this. This is strictly a level 80 thing. As I said, you can do it at lower levels, but it's not really worth it. It gets a little costly waypointing constantly, because they really are scattered all over the map of that area. I've seen some people who have several level 80 characters, and they'll just park one at each of the spawn points for the champions and switch characters, and they don't even have to worry about keeping up with the Zerg or waypointing or anything like that, but that requires quite a few 80s, considering that there's about 6 or 7 champions that people kill. But it is very effective. So, if you're 80 and you're looking for a way to get gold, this is probably it. The last and most complicated way is playing with your crafting. Now, I'm on a level 80 character right now, but this can be done at virtually any level. And the main way to make money off of this is looking at crafting components. So right now, steel ingots sell for just under 4 silver a pop. So you want to look for something using steel ingots that will give you at least a decent amount of profit, because you're going to be mass producing these. So the amount of profit doesn't have to be, say, like over 50%, because you're going to be making so many and you don't want to have too much of a loss. But if you're patient and potentially willing to relist them, you will make money off of this. I've made probably 30 gold off of this since I started playing, and that's how I have almost 80 gold when I played about a month. So, shield pieces normally go for a lot. Yeah, so here's a prime example. These shield bosses. There's only 7 of them available, and 5 of them are almost 23 silver. Actually, all of them are about 23 silver. And the fact that these sell for about 4 silver each means you can undercut them to, say, 14 or 15, and you're still only going to be using about 8 silver to make it, and they'll sell. They just will. Now, you're probably going to get undercut. That's just something that will inevitably happen with a game-wide auction house system. But this works. I've done it. I'll always do it. You don't require a lot. My crafting is 175. You can get that at like level 20 or 30. I literally haven't touched mine outside of doing this stuff since about that level. So it's easy. You just gotta watch and don't invest too much if you're nervous until you get comfortable. Obviously, when it comes to sort of flipping things like this, it would be best to buy things in the morning and sell things at night after you have more of an option of no one undercutting you, or if you're on early enough in the morning, just buy and sell then, on the spot. It's the middle of the day right now, and that's all they have, so if I put those up, then in a few hours, everyone in my time zone will be getting off of work and coming on and getting on Guildwars and going to do their crafting, and I'm going to be the only one that's going to have any to sell as far as these steel shield bosses goes. Because they're not going to buy the other guys. And if I put like 50 of them up, which is 100 steel ingots, so it takes a little bit of money to do. But if I put 50 of them up, then those would probably sell by the time the night's over. If not, then they'll probably be gone by tomorrow. I've sold as many as 200 pieces before, and within a week I made all the money I had planned on making. I didn't even have to relist them. So this does work, I guarantee it, but you just have to watch. There's a lot of crafting components. That's how I've always made my money. You just have to watch, and sometimes the market's a little finicky. Right now, the prices of ingots have gone up because of the patch releasing Ascended Crafting, so people are leveling up their crafting a lot. But that also means that if you got your ingots before, or you just have some lying around, you can make some good money off of these crafting components. So keep that in mind. So that's about it, guys. I know that I left out dungeons, even though they are a totally viable way of making gold, but that's only because finding a party can really be a pain sometimes. I would suggest doing dungeons for gold if you have a group of people that you know will succeed and know are reliable. I hope this helped. In the next week or two, I'll probably be releasing a video opening 250 of the Gilded Strong boxes you get from farming the champions I was referring to. So stay tuned for that, and thank you all for watching. Tell the viewers goodbye, Sasha. Subscribe.